Where did you first even say, I want to sit down and write Unashamed?
Well, a lot of my songs have been real transparent and just me sharing like intricate details of my life. And people are always like, man, this is like, you got to tell this whole story. And the first thing that comes to people's mind is like a movie. But for me, I think it was important to write because, just that whole scholarly aspect that a lot of times gets overlooked within hip hop culture, where it's like, there's not thinkers and innovators and culture shapers within hip hop culture, and I wanted to make sure that happened and that a book got written.
You weren't the star player on the ball team.
Right.
You weren't valedictorian.
Right.
You said you didn't have all the money to get the Flyers clothes.
Right.
But it took you some time to figure out what was for you.
Yeah, I think identity is just a big thing for everybody. Everybody wrestles with like where they fit in and what defines them, and I think when you start building your identity on these kind of frivolous things, if they fall through, then you kind of like, who are you? I see it happen with a lot of athletes when they stop playing. They're like, man, who am I now? And so for me, I had to learn to stop comparing myself to everybody else and to be who I was created to be, right? Like, I'm a terrible you, but I'm the best me there'll ever be. So let me focus on being, who I'm supposed to be. And I think that gave me a lot more confidence to just run in my lane.
And the title, Unashamed.
Yeah.
Did you sit down and write the story and then come up with the title? Or were you just like, I'm unashamed from page one, and that's gonna be the book?
Yeah, we knew Unashamed just because that's been my tenure. That's been, what I've been about, consistently. So that was pretty easy. It was like, it needs to be unashamed, but also knew people were gonna just assume, that title was just specifically speaking about faith, and it really was. It's deeper than that.
You telling multiple levels of things that anyone could really be ashamed about.
Yeah,
and normally would be, to be honest. So
yeah,
as I said, like
I put it out there.
Yeah.
STDs, everything.
Yes.
It's in the book.
Yeah. Were you nervous about that at all?
Nah, man, because I feel like there's scars that have healed. You know what I'm saying? These are healed scars, and when people see your scars, they believe their wounds can be healed. Yeah.
Is there one moment that you focus on as like a shift in your life?
I think, the theme or the stream that I realized in my own life was identity, was self-worth and value. And for me, it was, you're told over and over again your worth and your value by people. You ain't worth nothing, or you stepped on, you spit on, things happen to you and you feel like your value is diminished. And I think for me, it was that spiritual awakening when I realized, wait, God made me for a reason. Like, I have purpose and worth. I'm made in His image. I'm beyond all of the stuff that's happened to me. And so I don't have to find my identity in what's happened to me or what I've done. Like, my identity was established, by the Creator, and I don't have to focus on that. So I think that's the biggest shift for me.
I was made in America, land of the free, home of the brave. And right up under your nose, you might see us being traded.
I highlighted a couple things that really stuck with me, and one of the things you said that really kind of, I guess, took me for a loop is talking about how weird and how awkward and unapproachable people get when you say Christian rapper.
Soul music is music that came up at a time where it embodied everything. Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, they could talk about love, they could talk about pain, they could talk about drugs, heartbreak, abuse, and then they could talk about God, and it wasn't a weird thing. And I feel like hip hop a lot of times is a science and a social, but is like not the spiritual. And for me, I'm just trying to inject the spiritual into hip hop and make it soul music, because we all got to wrestle with the issues of the soul. I think as soon as they hear me say Christian, they just, I've become some Republican candidate that they have in their mind that they hate.
You talked about the insatiable want and need for best rap.
Yeah.
Versus just the Christian label in front of it.
Right.
What ultimately is the difference between the two? Is there one?
Yeah. Well, I think just to the culture there is, because Christian is a good noun. It's not that great of an adjective. So like, a person Christian, is that a Christian camera? Is this a Christian shirt? Like, what categorizes?
Is this a Christian book?
Right. How do you categorize? Like, what makes it Christian? You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, how many times you gotta say Jesus before it's
I mean, it made me think about it just because I felt like I kept a running tally in my head of all the rappers who mentioned God. And I'm like, well, that's how it goes. And Kanye's a Christian rapper.
Yo.
Nas is a Christian rapper.
Right.
Lupe's a Christian rapper. I mean, well, he's not Christian.
Muslim rapper,
whatever.
whatever.
Lupe's a Muslim rapper. So, yeah, it definitely makes you sit back and check yourself. To end it off, I just wanted to ask you what God means to you.
Oh, that's great, man. You know, creator of all things, you know what I'm saying? Everything is made for him, by him, through him. And I think, you know, that if we know that, we have meaning, we have purpose. No God, no good, you know what I mean? If we just a cosmic accident, we just out here existing for no reason at all. Don't even eat breakfast because you don't matter, and neither does your health. But if there's a God, then there's good, there's purpose, there's meaning. And man, you know, if we're if we're part of that creation, man, we don't know how we're supposed to be used or what our purpose is until we connect with them. So, you know, for me, that's been, through knowing Jesus, man, and developing that deep, intimate relationship. So, yeah.
If I talk about God, my record won't get played.
Nah, hey, real talk. Hey, what's going on? This is Lecrae. My book, Unashamed, just dropped. Make sure you go get it. I am Revolt.